Oh, great. I got to do that one later. All right. Welcome to Politics Done Right. I'm here with the one and only Ian Reifowitz. And guess what? If you remember a few weeks back, we had him via teleportation to Politics Done Right. Well, we are here at the Netroots convention and we have him live. Ian, how are you doing today?
I'm doing great, Egberto, and I'm always happy to be with you and hang out and talk about politics.
Well, it's interesting. You told me, Egberto, I just got off the train and I'm right here, and in a few, I guess in an hour or two, you have a book sign-in?
At 12:30 at the Town Square stage, which is about 300 feet that way apparently, I will be doing a book signing. I'll be talking a little bit about the book, maybe 5 or 10 minutes to give folks a bit of more of a sense of what it's about, and then I'll be happily signing away.
Well, I tell you what, give us somewhat of a 2-minute synopsis of what the tribalization of politics, how Rush Limbaugh's race-baiting rhetoric on the Obama presidency paved the way for Trump.
All right, I'm happy to. So it is somewhat in the title. So I look at Limbaugh's rhetoric, specifically focusing on his race-baiting rhetoric, the way that he tried to portray Barack Obama as a black radical, anti-white, maybe even anti-American, maybe even as a secret Muslim, on another tack, and also portrayed his administration as anti-white, pro-minority in some way, talking a lot about immigration. And in all of these aspects of talking about Obama in these ways, what I argue is in the end that this kind of rhetoric helped pave the way for Trump to come along with a campaign built around hate, built around fear-mongering, in particular on racial and cultural issues, in particular around issues relating to people of color, and that by raising the level of white racial resentment among his Republican audience, that really Limbaugh did help make it easier for Trump to not only get the Republican nomination, but also win the presidency.
Well, I mean, it's interesting because you're talking about he won over quite a few of the Republican base. I would argue as well that what he did is he brought out, using sort of a carnality, some of that within center-leaning type Democrats, wouldn't you say?
Well, I think we're talking about Limbaugh or Trump here.
We're talking about Trump.
Yes.
And, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I think Trump came at those folks with scaring them about immigrants, scaring them about the country becoming browner, so to speak, right? And that was something certainly that Limbaugh did as well. Trump did that specifically on immigration. I think, or most directly on immigration. Talking about Mexican immigrants as rapists and drug dealers, as we all know in that famous first announcement speech going down the escalator at Trump Tower. And in doing that, he was able to appeal to some of these middle and working class white voters who he can't appeal to on economic grounds because his economic policies, certainly as we've seen them implemented, are about tax cuts for the rich. He talked during the campaign in some more middle-of-the-road economic policies, but he didn't deliver on those. The only area where you saw some overlap between his rhetoric and that of some Democrats is on trade. He tried to sell himself as tough on trade, opposing TPP, and he's talked about how his trade policies are going to be successful. They haven't been particularly successful yet, but I think that's one area where he did appeal to some of these middle and working class white American voters and even non-white voters to the degree that he was able to, the small degree that he was able to, building on, we saw Ross Perot die the other day, all of this, anti-NAFTA, anti-trade stuff. And I'm going to talk more about that in some of my future writings, is that really Trump is going to try and run on trade, and Democrats have to be ready for it.
I agree with that. In fact, we discussed that on one of our issues. Folks, the tribalization of politics, how Rush Limbaugh's race-baiting rhetoric on Obama presidency paved the way for Trump. I know you're not going to be here at Netroots to get one of these books. Go to
Amazon. You can go anywhere you like,
and go ahead and get this book. Ian, thank you so kindly for being here.
Thank you. Always a pleasure.
Absolutely.